Yeah, I'm really getting really good at these intros. Can you tell? It's almost like I'm a goddamn professional by now. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm back. The skulls are back. I don't know why. They just managed to get in here all the time. Today we're going to talk about me painting a miniature from a game that I haven't played or painted in 20 years. I was introduced to Warmachine by some friends back a long time ago now. A bunch of you guys probably weren't even born. And I had a lot of fun with it. I played a Crix army. It was a lot of weird ideas in my head back then. Today I'm going to paint another Crix model, but it's a Dark Operations guy. But I had a lot of fun with the game back then, and I don't know really why I stopped playing it. It just fizzled out for some reason. Oh, doing this late at night, you should really get better at doing things on time. However, last year or so, I saw that the game had made a comeback, and I was kind of hoping that it would be good. But I was also kind of feeling like, yeah, I should probably wait, try to see what other people think about it. But I couldn't keep it any longer, so I actually managed to get Mats in on this. I'm sorry, Mats. Trust me. Yeah, from the Critical Focus channel, by the way, if you haven't watched his stuff, go do it. Great guy, great stuff. Really, really nice. So I managed to sort of bully him nicely into trying the game out once. And to do that, we need painted miniatures. So this is my first painted miniature from the sort of 30-point starter thing with Dark Operations, and he's going to play the Thornfall Alliance. And I don't know, I just wanted to show you guys that old guys can play new versions of old games and still have fun, and also paint old stuff. But if you like what I do, want to see more of it, like, subscribe, do all the stuff. I like seeing in your comments, yell at me if I do something wrong. I don't know. I'm not a YouTuber really, not even close. And I'm sort of impressed that people are actually watching my stuff. But hey, that's on you. So until later, watch the video. Look what I'm doing. Love the process or something. Yeah. Bye. So let's start this paint job off. I was thinking about experimenting. So let's start off with some purple. And I just picked one. I think I got 3 purple colors and just picked one that was kind of dark. Because I want this to be kind of shiny and stuff. And as you can see here, I'm just going over very, very roughly the top parts of the head of this model. And I will also be doing it on a lot of the other armor parts as I go along. And as you can see, I'm focusing mostly with the heavy stuff here on the tops, but I will also do the edges of the downward facing areas. Kind of. We're gonna get to that. But yeah, purple. It's a great color, and this is what happens when I do my experimental stuff. I just go in there and start painting. I do, of course, have some sort of idea in my head based off prior experience and being a painter for this many years. And this is a very, very rough sketch. I'm just trying to figure out where I want my highlights to go. And as like a counter color to this, I just picked a turquoise that I had on my wet palette from earlier and just went into some areas where I just wanted to add some more interest. Because just purple and black could look kind of weird in not weird, but kind of boring. So this is a way to make it a little bit more interesting to look at the miniature, and also to sort of get more color in there, because I really like color. If you don't like color, you are one of those really boring guys. I'm also doing the folds, even though you might not see most of it, because I am twisting and turning in the miniature. The folds of the cloak thing, the cloth that this miniature has, I'm going in there and I'm adding turquoise, and I'm going to add some purples and stuff to that as well, because I want color in there and not just a sterile black. We'll keep the sterile black for other stuff, like next week perhaps. And here I'm going in with the purple again, mostly from the top on the cloth. This is also still just a rough sketch. Be bold and be brave. Try different things and try to do these things. You can't mess up when it comes to painting. And if you feel like you did, just go back and repaint it. That's why we do these thin layers, and that's a part of all the fun with this, is to just explore the creativity and sort of like the color spectrum. What you can do with paint on miniatures. Just have fun. That's the most important part of life in any activity. And I just said, like, fuck it, let's do pink. This is pink. So purple and pink on black. It's gonna get kind of shiny. This is also just a step up sort of in the light spectra, because I want this to go towards more color. It's almost going to be sort of a synthwavy thing. Here we are also, as usual, just highlighting what we had. We are using dots and scratches and whatever, but we are also going over a smaller area than the purple area that we had before. Also looking for, like on the sides there, you can see me going in trying to get sort of a reflection of the round, the part that you have there. And that's just to get more like action into the miniature. And I'm also doing some sort of edge highlighting, and looking for more cool places to have more pink color, because pink goes hand in hand with evil miniatures like this. And like we all know, pink is the most disturbing color. Of course, that's just it. And you can see here me going over and doing a sort of edge highlighting stuff, and I'm just finding those areas that I want to have some more interest in. That is what the pink is for, and that's what makes this kind of cool, because it's still just experimenting and sort of sketching out stuff. And now I'm going to show you a mistake that I did while painting this, because this jump in light is way too sharp. So I had to do the first blending part here of this miniature, because all the other colors are just raw purple and pink. This is Sunny Skin Tone, and it was way too sharp for what I wanted to go here. So I had to go back in and like sort of mix it a little bit with the pink, but I'm also going to go over this with a glaze of the pink color to tone it down and tie it all together a little bit more. As you can see, there's dots, lines, scratches, everything to just make things look a little bit more interesting in my mind, because I not really want to look for those perfect, nice, new, shiny things. I don't want to have my miniatures look like that brand new car. I want it to be sort of a beat up thing. And here we have, like, I focused mostly on the top parts with that sort of highlight, and now I'm going to do the glaze. And this is just severely diluted with ordinary water pink color that I'm going over and sort of dragging it so I get the most of the pigments where I want them. Remember that when your brush leaves the miniature, that is where it deposits the most of the pigments. So by knowing that, you can drag it around and sort of manipulate it where you want it the most and where you don't want it. This is very, very nice to have in your mind when you're painting. And then we're just going back over it with more of the Sunny Skin Tone, because I want to sort of get more vibrancy of this. And I do glaze over this a couple of more times using the pink because I want to modulate it and turn it back down to more like a muted look, but still shiny and very, very colorful. And I'm also picking out the rivets measurably more now than I did in the earlier steps, because this is where I want them to start getting that highlight color on. And also, of course, working in smaller and smaller areas. You can still see clearly both the purple and the pink as well as the black color, and then the sunny skin tone color on top of that, which is sort of an orangey skin tone. And now it's time for the second glaze. Just the same diluted pink color that I used before, and we're going over it and sort of leaving less of the pigment on the sharpest edges and stuff like that, but we still want to blend like where the colors sort of meet to make that transition a little bit softer, and also saturate it a lot more. Even though none of these colors are really desaturated, it's a pretty happy purple and a very happy sort of dark pink, and that sunny skin tone is like the most saturated orangey peach color out there, I guess. But this helps tie it all together and making it a lot more uniform. And once again, back in with sunny skin tone with very, very, very small highlights on the places where I feel like, yeah, well, this needs some more interest, and I need to add some extra stuff here, and mostly for fun. Like I said at the beginning, this is an experiment. We're just going ahead for weirdness and coolness, and that's all my goals here, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. And this is what the sort of pink, purple, orangey armor looks for now. We are now going to do the turquoise, and I only added ice yellow to the turquoise to lighten it up, and we're just gonna go in smaller area as always, trying to look for rule of cool, getting more color on there, and mostly just exploring what we can get and what we can do. That's just the thing here is to find a way to do it so that you really enjoy doing what you're doing, and having fun with color is my way of doing that. And just as with the purple, we can tone down and modulate sort of the hue or brightness of turquoise by glazing over with the original turquoise color. And I'm also adding this onto areas that didn't have anything, so I can get a turquoisey shift in the blacks, and also over the purple, I can get it to sort of tone over and get towards the more bluish turquoise color. And now I'm going over here with the glaze again and trying to find spots where I like to, like I said, use that glaze onto the black to sort of get it to look more like the turquoise. And this happens in stages, because if I wanted to turn more turquoise, I need to wait for the thin layers to dry before I go over them again. This luckily is kind of easy and fast in Sweden when it's almost summer and I'm sitting under a warm lamp. And now we're back to the highlight color again to sharpen off the details and get some more oomph into the metals that this is supposed to be, I guess metal or whatever it is. But I want to have that sharpness, so I go back in and re-highlight certain areas so that they don't become so dull. And this is the final turquoise highlight, and this is almost a off-white by now. I use this to sharpen the edges even further, and also to make sure that the rivets stand out a bit, because they get kind of dull when you're glazing over it with the original color, because that's what the glaze is supposed to do. It's supposed to shift towards that color. But this makes sure that you can actually sort of read the model even though you're far away, especially if you do it on the upper facing areas. Now we're going over the downward facing areas as well, but yeah, this is the sharpening highlight step of the turquoise. Robe time! Okay, number one kind of rule when it comes to robes. You don't do random scratches and dents and stuff, because robes are made from fabric. You can do crosshatch textures and stuff like that, but you don't do it like you do armor. Also, this is just a mid-gray color that I'm half glazing, half painting over the purples and the turquoises that we added at the beginning of this. And this is to make sure that I'm not gonna sort of repeat exactly how the carapace / armor parts of this model looks like onto the robes as well, but I still want to ground them in the same color scheme, so that's why we're keeping the purple and purple-ish pinks-y turquoisey color, but we are going to go for a gray overall, sort of gray black feeling, even though it's colorful. And it's also sort of like sketching it in. You can see these like big wide brush strokes, catching the top parts and just going with it. You can't really mess up here. We want to have interest and a funny looking model, sort of. We want people to look at it and go like, yeah, well, I can see that's a robe. That's what it is. So by just going over and getting color on it, it's going to be a lot more interesting than if it's gray or black or just primed in something. And now we're just going to detail this. I'm just going to use a brighter, lighter gray color with perhaps a little bit of a smudge of a purple in it. Might have been mixed on the wet palette, I don't know. Stuff like that happens. That's not a problem, you know, just add color, do color splashes. Don't be so sterile. Use your creativity and have some fun. I'm just catching the raised edges, sort of. This is not going to look realistic in any sort of way, but it's going to look sort of impactful, even though it can still be muted, because it's going to be in a very, very dark sort of area. I'm just pushing those wrinkles on the arms and looking for sort of fun stuff to do with this, because it's a very nice and simple sculpt, and I really enjoy that, and they should do this. This is great for beginners and for experienced painters alike. And I know I said you don't do these sort of things, but at the end edges, like the lower edges of a robe like this that is obviously too long for her legs, his legs, you can add sort of like textures, and like those parts have been distressed and weathered with age and use, so you can actually do a little bit of stroking stuff and dots and stuff down there, and then you add the same even lighter gray color onto the raised areas as you go along upwards, and towards the top of the chest area is a good place to also place a very bright highlight to focus the eyes of the viewer upwards towards the chest and face. And here we go with some extra, even lighter scratches and stuff, and we're kind of looking mostly at the bottom edges, but I'm over exaggerating it a lot. But this is to make it stand out a little bit more, not make it just so perfectly smooth, because it's not going to be smooth. To top it all off, I'm sort of glazing in some of the turquoise, and I went a little bit more extreme with this, so I had to tone that down as well, which was kind of fun. But adding in this sort of color and getting it more towards colorful than desaturated, boring black and gray blah is fun. And to, like I've stated several times, experiment, creativity, have fun. And here I cheated. In between cuts, I actually used my airbrush to airbrush glaze a purple ink to sort of smooth out the transitions of the armor parts on the head, because it looked a little bit too rough. And that's fine. I'm gonna show you guys how to do that in some video someday. Trust me. Now I am going in and doing all the metallics. I was contemplating doing this miniature with NMM, and then I just realized that no, this is a gaming miniature. I'm gonna not do NMM on this. It's gonna take way too long with all of these details on the arms. So I just went in with a sort of dark metal color. This is gunmetal gray, I think, from Vallejo. And just covered everything that I haven't really painted yet, because there's not much left in a way of details. It's just the metals now. And to shade those metals, I'm using no oil. Oh my god, what the hell am I doing? Every other YouTuber out there will tell you not to use washes. Well, if you're gonna do something fast and simple, you can use a wash. Just make sure that you re-highlight things afterwards and make sure that you can see where it pools and stuff like that. But using a wash is totally fine. You're not messing up, you're not cheating, and you're not destroying your miniatures. You're just sort of working faster than perhaps you should sometimes. But for pieces like this that you're going to put on the table, a wash, it's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. Don't listen to every influencer's every single advice out there. Especially do not listen to mine. This is something that a lot of people have been doing for a lot of time, and it's nothing wrong with it. Just go ahead and shade your stuff with a wash if you want to. You're not going to jail. And we've come so far. You're definitely way beyond the halfway point of the video. Congratulations! Like, subscribe, add comments, yell at me, do whatever. I love it. Torture me. Here we go again. We're going in with the gold. I don't know what gold this is. It's a scale 75 thing. It's really good. It's a warm, nice mid-tone gold color that I really enjoy, because it's perfect for doing what we're gonna do with it in like a minute. Just make sure that you cover everything that you want to be covered with this gold color. And that's meaningful, and you should do it, because you're going to highlight this later with the same color that you're going to highlight the metals with. And that is a sort of bright silver color. And we're going to get to that. But here, watch me paint some gold. Enjoy. It's gold. And cut to a perfectly gold painted miniature, and also a flipped sort of video. Sorry about that. Now we're gonna highlight it. It's a brighter silver color of some kind. Also scale 75 one of their metal things. This is perhaps thrash metal or heavy metal, I don't know. One of them. It's not death metal or black metal, it's one of the others. And we're going to go in and highlight very roughly, because this is, like I said, tabletop miniature. We don't have to do all the work. But we're also going to go in and get this onto the gold colors. And that is important, because that's going to help us with the definition of the gold once we are done with this step, because we're going to redo an illegal step that we just did, but with another color. Yeah, don't mess up like I did and get this on your other parts, or you have to repaint parts of them. Here we are now doing the belt, because I found another detail on this model. I actually found two more details that I hadn't painted, so we're doing the belt. This is a purplish gray color from Vallejo. Don't know its name. I have no idea. I've used it on lots of things. I should know its name, but I don't. And this just goes on. Every part of this that's going to be sort of a leather, because I want this to stick out a little bit. I could have gone for the full goth look with a black leather belt, but I didn't. This is going to be sort of more towards like a brownish gray thing. And we're adding some textures with a light gray. This is almost a white gray. And I'm just going in, adding some towards the upper parts of the model, of the belt in this case, and also some just dots and lines everywhere. Doesn't need to be perfect, it's supposed to be messy, because what we're going to do to this is that we're going to give it a wash. The same wash that we're going to put on the gold. That's why we did it now. And here we are, more washes, baby. This is the Reichland Flesh Shade wash. This is perfect over a warm gold with a silver highlight, because it's going to get into the shades and it's going to keep the silver looking sort of yellowish, reddish, gold looking. It's a very simple technique that I saw once in an old white dwarf like 30 years ago or something. And I've stuck with it. This thing has been like my go-to for fast gold looking things since then. So whoever wrote this in a white dwarf, I thank you, I salute you. You are a savior and have saved me a lot of times when I'm doing bigger projects. And just slab that everywhere, like all the gold, get it on there. Get it on the belt as well. And I just realized, I remember where I saw this tip, and it was when they released the old Khorne Berserker kit for Warhammer 3rd edition, I think, and they like used this to sort of show how you can do the trim very, very fast. So thank you to whoever that was. Base time! As you could have seen earlier in this clip, I've just put texture on the base, and now we're gonna do a very fun thing that I thought was kind of cool, because all the things I see of the homeland of these sort of creatures is that it's kind of a toxic swamp. So of course we're going in with the green, and this is black yellow, I think, from Vallejo. Just get it all over there. Just don't really care. It doesn't have to be even, doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it on there. Make sure it covers, sort of, but you know, it doesn't really matter. We have plans for this to make it look kind of cool and simple. Like, yeah, get the color on there and enjoy. And for the ruined brick part, I just went in with the same like mid-tone gray and kind of wet blended it on there. As you can see, it's very not perfect. Just do it roughly, get it on, sort of make sure it looks decrepit and covered in swamp, toxic, weird growth things. Yeah. And then I just pretty much added a lighter color and started highlighting this all the way up to a very bright, almost white gray color, to make sure that there's some interest in the base, even because the texture paint stuff, that's not very interesting, especially not here, and I'm not going to add anything extra. I just wanted to get this part looking a lot more fun than it was when it was just green. The best part about this is that it leaves the green in the recesses, and that makes sure that it looks sort of mossy and taken over by nature, even though it's just a simple thing to do. And once this dries, as you can see there, magic, the thing that popped up there, that is a plastic lid that I have filled with green pigments and airbrush fluid. I don't know what it's called actually. Just get a good blob of it on there, and then I just add some water to my brush to water it down and spread it out. You want this to settle in the recesses of the texture, because you want it to be like the mossy parts that are underneath. So you want the dark color to stay up. This is different from how we usually do things. And then I used a Q-tip there to remove some of the stuff, because we want the brighter color to be in the recesses and the darker color to be on top, so no dry brush. And now you're gonna watch me. It looks kind of nice, right? And now watch paint dry, slaves. as I was editing this video, it came to my attention that one of the greats of our hobby has passed away, Mr. John Blanche. I did not know him personally, but kind of through his art, and I knew his art like most of us. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank him for making us believe through his paintings, and also to offer my sincere condolences to his family and friends in this time of grief.